What's going on, guys? You're watching Gamer Logic, and I recently just found out that I'm over 3,000 subscribers. Took a good look at the channel today and realized that I'm over 3,000, which is pretty awesome. So thank you to the subscribers, thank you to all the viewers, the fans, people who comment on the pages, all that good stuff. Very much appreciate it. I guess they say after 3,000 you're on your way to partnership. Whatever, if it happens, cool. If it doesn't happen, whatever. I'm still going to keep doing videos. And as far as any major changes to the channels, I'm just going to do whatever I feel like doing, to be absolutely, completely honest with you. And as far as if I will be taking a break this year like I did last year, I'm not sure yet. Chances are probably not, but in between work and promoting my single and working on my new album and everything, getting that promoted and possibly doing a small tour, there won't be as many videos as there normally is. As you probably noticed, there's just not a lot of videos popping up right now, and I'm just busy with stuff, and if I don't feel I have the energy to do a quality video, then I generally just don't do it. A good example is I have a Darkstalker statue that I just finished a review for. I just sat and watched it, and quite honestly, it's just awful. So I'm probably going to reshoot it at a later time when I'm feeling a little bit more energetic, and go from there. So not sure if I'm taking a break or not. We'll kind of see towards the end of the year. I have a feeling I'm going to stick around and just keep doing videos, just not a lot of them. So if you see next to me here, this is my Tekken Tag Tournament cabinet that I did a video about a couple weeks ago. I want to say probably about a week or 2 weeks ago. And my dilemma was with this thing was that I wasn't going to be able to fit it down in my basement, because as it turned out, it was just freaking huge. It's a lot bigger than any of my other arcade cabinets here. So I was kind of bummed out about it, because I got it for under $100, which is a really, really good deal. And I didn't want to get rid of it, but I figured, what's the point of playing it in my garage? There's tons of humidity and stuff like that. Sure enough, my dad comes over. He comes to pick up a part for the computer, and he takes a look at it and he goes, "We can get this thing downstairs, no problem." And I said, "You think we just take the thing and get it down and everything?" And he said, "No, what we can do is we can actually take this top portion off. I guarantee you we can take it off. There's a couple wedges of wood here. I'm sure if I just wedge it out, this thing is going to come right off." So I was a little scared at first, because the worst thing you could possibly do is completely damage a cabinet, and that would be really, really, really bad. And just a little worried about that. But he assured me, he said, "Nah, trust me, it's going to be fine getting it downstairs." So I said, okay. So over the next 2 days, because we did it on a Friday, I slowly started taking the cabinet apart, and I figured, hey, if this isn't going to work out, if he says it's not going to come apart, then at least I can get this thing cleaned out, because it did have some dirt in it. Buttons were missing and stuff like that. Things needed to be wired up and such. So I literally went through everything. Took the monitor out, cleaned some stuff and components out of there, vacuumed the cabinet out, opened the power supply, which I don't know how the power supply on this thing still works, because it was just completely molded in old dirt. I popped the thing open and cleaned that out. Funny enough, I found out that if it does ever break, Hap actually sells it, which is about 45 minutes away from me, the ones who make all the arcade buttons, or most of them. They sell a replacement power supply for about $45, so that's not too bad. But I cleaned that out and went through some stuff and pretty much just emptied the cabinet out, so when it did come time to transport the thing, if need be, it'd be easy to do. Got off work super early on a Friday, had a lot of hours in, and my dad got off work early, so he decided that he was going to come over early as well. And we started working on it. I showed him what I took out and everything, and he started to take a look and started putting his wood wedges in to start breaking the wood off there. And my wife came home, so I wanted to talk to my wife really quick and say hi to her. I was out of the garage for literally 5 minutes. When I come back out to the garage after talking to my wife, this is completely separate from the cabinet. My dad took it off, no problem. And he actually said that this top part's been taken off before. It was glued and stapled on. And a lot of people said that they thought that this actually wasn't a Tekken 3 cabinet, that it was a Tekken 1 cabinet, and that's totally correct. All the old side art and everything's on there. I took a look at the killer list of arcades and looked at the original Tekken, and this is totally an original Tekken machine. They just added the red T molding to it. But probably over the years, they probably took it apart, it probably moved around, and they took the top part off and stapled it and glued it back on. They used wood glue, basically. So he was able to take it apart no problem, and because I had all the components and everything already taken out, we got the top part, we got the bottom part out, no problem, which was really, really awesome. To put it back together, because we didn't want to staple it, we didn't want to use glue, we actually did some really heavy-duty screws to it. So if we ever need to move this, take it apart, whatever, it's going to be really easy to do, but it stays sturdy, which is really nice. So that's actually not a problem there, which is excellent. It's secure, it's synced in, so not an issue with that. And another issue I had with this was the fact that the left speaker wasn't working on the left hand of this cabinet. Now, a lot of my JAMA games are just, you know, regular mono. They don't support stereo sound. There are some RCA hookups on the board here, so I was thinking it's probably got 2 speakers, because at one time this thing probably had an amplifier or something, right? Well, my dad's, you know, taking a look at something, and he looked at the cone and make sure it was connected, and he noticed the wire running from the magnet to the speaker was actually frayed, so we soldered that back on, and sure enough, this is a stereo cabinet with the volume controls right at the bottom of the control panel, which is very, very nice, I might add. And the next thing was the control panel, and the control panel actually needed some work just because the way it was screwed in was absolutely awful. It's seen years of use. I mean, granted, I think Tekken came out, what was it, 94, I want to say, something like that. It had years and years and years of use on it. So the only thing holding this together as I transported this was literally 2 long screws with a bolt. This control panel is very heavy. It weighs at least 30 to 40 pounds, and I'm glad we fixed it when we did, because this thing was ready to rip out the wood that was in the control panel, or actually in the bottom of the panel. So what we went ahead and did was we got a 2x4, and we cut those down, and we screwed them into the cabinet. So now this control panel is nice and secure. Funny enough, my little brother came over on Saturday, and what's the first thing he does? He kind of just lays on the cabinet, you know, to kind of support himself. Had it been just those 2 screws, this thing would have ripped right off. So we wanted to make sure that it was screwed in securely, but easy enough to get off. One thing you might notice here, if you watched the previous video, you probably noticed that there was no 6 button on each side of the thing here. And I went ahead and we added the 6 button hole for each one, because not only is this going to be a Tekken Tag cabinet for me and a System 12 cabinet, it's going to be a CPS2 cabinet. And I'm a huge Capcom fighting game fan, and I really, 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 really wanted to get the games basically that I could run CPS2 on and have a really big monitor for. So I have gone ahead and I did get a CPS2 A board, and I have Super Street Fighter 2 that I'm picking up on Friday, and I have Marvel vs. Capcom with an A/B board on the way. Not a big Marvel vs. Capcom fan. And I also have Street Fighter Alpha 3 coming, which is a Phoenix edition, which is really cool. Basically with CPS2 boards, they have a battery with them that can suicide, and when it suicides, it won't get the encryption key out of them, which means your game is basically unplayable. So what people were able to do, they were actually able to Phoenix the boards themselves so they don't need the battery anymore, which is really cool. So that I actually have Phoenix, which is nice. I don't have to worry about changing the battery out every year, which I can't imagine being too hard. But on my list, I definitely want to get a couple Darkstalkers games, and Street Fighter Alpha 2 is probably my favorite out of the series, so I'd probably like to grab that as well. I also have Tekken Tag Tournament on the way, or not Tekken Tag Tournament, that's what's in here. Soul Calibur, actually. I prefer Soul Calibur over Tekken. I played the living crap out of Tekken, Tekken 3 when it was out on PlayStation. But playing Tag Tournament and everything, I'm just not a big Tekken fan. I'm not going to get rid of the board because my cousin Cassie is a huge Tekken fan, and she loves the game, so I'm going to hold on to it mostly for her and whoever else wants to play Tekken. But Soul Calibur is on the way, and I'm very, very happy about that. But overall, everything looks great on the cabinet. Everything made it down perfectly and reattached, so very happy to have Tekken down here in the game room. And officially, I think I can make it work. I think I could get one more game down here, and it's going to be another pinball. Funny enough, I almost traded this for a Meteor pinball machine, which I'm glad I didn't. But one more pinball machine definitely down in the game room, and then after that I'm pretty much going to have to sell stuff, which is kind of sad, if I want to get different games. So we'll see about that. But that's all I have for now. I just wanted to update you guys on the fact that the cabinet did make it down here, and that I'm over 3,000 subs now. So continue to enjoy the content and comment and all that good stuff, and I will see you guys later. Expect more from me soon. Peace.